everybody. Happy Thursday. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and get started because people might be at work and whatnot, and hopefully you can catch this later if you are not available. But I'm super excited. I have a bunch of our leashes, so I made a bunch of samples this week, and I have a bunch of them here, and I just thought I could kind of go over the basic design of our Hands Free leashes. Let me know if you can't hear me or anything. I think I'm doing this right, but yeah, so I'm going to go over the basic design of our Hands Free leashes, which are launching on our site tomorrow morning, and answer any questions you guys have, maybe do a little demo, and yeah, we can go from there. So I'm super excited. We have gotten so many requests this past year for hands-free leashes, and to be perfectly honest with you, I've never used a lot of hands-free leashes. Coming from like a group dog walking background, I've always just wanted leashes that had like as little hardware as possible, that were super streamlined and lightweight, and so that's always been my preference. But I will say that after making a ton of these for people over the last year and trying out different designs and talking to people, I really realize how versatile and awesome they can be. And so I'm super excited to be able to offer these. The design we landed on, I think, is just nice because it's really streamlined. It has a lot of functionality, but it doesn't have any extra hardware. It doesn't have anything extra that I don't think you're going to need. I talked to some other dog walkers and a dog trainer friend who has like a convertible leash, and kind of like asked them what features they use and they like and what lengths. And so we kind of went from there and to come up with like what we're offering. So yeah, they're gonna launch tomorrow. I'm gonna do a free US shipping promo this weekend. So Friday through Sunday, you will get free shipping on all US orders. So I thought that would be a fun way to kind of thank you for checking these out. And just to give you, if you're not familiar with our products, or just to give you an overview of how we organize them, is when you go to our site, you're going to choose, we offer two main hardware types. So the Sport, which is like an auto locking carabiner, and then Brass, which is a solid brass bolt snap or scissor snaps. And so when you go on our site, you're going to go to our Hands Free leash page, and you're going to choose either Sport or Brass, and I'll show you close-ups on the samples of what those look like. And then from there, you're going to choose your preferred width. And I have info on my blog, and I have another live that I did about sizing, but we offer 3 main widths for our leashes. The 3/8 inch, which is our thinnest width, and that's great for dogs up to about 30 pounds is what we recommend. And then we have the medium size, which is a 1/2 inch. That's great for medium-sized dogs around like 30 to 60 pounds. And then we have our large, which is the 3/4 inch, which is great for dogs about 60 pounds and up. And those are just like recommendations. It's not like a break strength thing. And I talk about this in my blog post on sizing, but it's more just like comfort level for you and for the dog, and like the weight of the leash, and what's going to feel most comfortable. So those are some guidelines. So you're going to choose your hardware, your width, and then from there you'll get to the product page. And from there you're going to choose your colors, your add-ons, and your length. And so I will get into that a little bit here. And yeah, if you have questions that come up, just like put them in the comments, and I'll try to go back and answer those. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, let me back up and say one other thing. So we decided to just offer 3 set widths for this product. So there's a 7-foot, an 8-foot, and a 9-foot option, which we thought would be good, just kind of like mid-range for giving lots of space to sniff and, but still manageable if you're using it hands-free. But we've also decided to offer, we've gotten a lot of people who are like, I want to order a long line, but can you make it so I can use it hands-free? And so what we're going to do, so starting tomorrow, if you go to order a long line on our site, you'll be able, under the handle option drop down, where you can, right now you can choose either a regular handle or a no handle. You'll be able to order a convertible handle, which basically you'll see what it looks like, but it means that your handle will be able to be removed and then used as a crossbody or around the waist or a tether, and we'll also add the sliding O-ring to the long line so you can use it for hands-free. So that's just going to be an add-on to our regular long lines. There's no other fixed hardware on that we're going to add, just the handle option, if that makes sense. And I can do a post and explain that a little better. But let me show you some of the samples. So I'll start with the sport. And okay, so when you choose your leash, you're going to be able to choose either single, just like our regular leashes, either single color or the two-tone. And so I can kind of show you, basically you'll see, but single color is just going to be all one color along the entire length. Two-tone will be, you'll have alternating colors. And if anyone has questions about colors, which colors you're seeing, I can try to answer that if I see you ask. But this is flamingo, obviously, and then sky blue and bluebird. So here's the handle. This is, the handle can come on and off. So it can just work as a regular handle, or it can be, it can unclip. This is our auto locking carabiner. And then you will come down here, and this is our sliding O-ring. We've tried out a bunch of different styles for this attachment. We tried the double O-ring, which some of you maybe have seen, and I know some people really like that style. I found it hard on some of the widths. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, no worries, but it was kind of hard to move up and down. And I think for people who have any grip, issues or anything, it might have been frustrating. So this is easier to move up and down. And then when there's any tension on this O-ring, it kind of catches against the biothane and it helps kind of hold it taut. So we went with that. And then this is your kind of fixed attachment point for crossbody. So I will show you what that looks like. So if you want to wear the leash around your shoulder, you can clip it right there, and it falls to about here on me. So depending on your size, it might fall a little bit higher or a little bit lower, but it should, the measurement that we went with should fit most people, tall people, short people, big people, small people. It should work. If you have any concerns, you can always message me and I can work with you to do custom sizing. But that's the crossbody part. And then also another thing we did was we have this D-ring, we designed it so that when you're wearing this crossbody, it's on the outside, so it's not going to dig into your shoulder. And then if you want to wear the leash around your waist, you can just clip it onto your sliding O-ring. I'm 5'8", so, and this part, the distance from the handle clip to the crossbody attachment is the same on all of the leashes. The part that's variable is the amount of slack. And so we're gonna have, you know, 3 different options for how much slack you have. So this is the waist attachment here. And then going down the leash, you've got either 3, 4, or 5 feet of slack in kind of the second part of the leash. And then down here you have the part that clips to the dog and another D-ring here. And so those are like the 3 main uses that, you know, are the crossbody around the waist and just a standard leash. But, you know, with these like multi-convertible leashes, there's other, okay, I'll answer that in a second. Yeah, so there's other ways you can use it, right? So you can, and this, I hope this isn't confusing. It's kind of hard to like demo and for me to like wrap my mind around all the functions, but so right here I have the handle clip to the midpoint, and that just makes your leash a little bit shorter. So for whatever reason, if you want to have a slightly shorter leash, you could even clip it down at the dog end. So you can see this makes it even shorter. So you have like basically 3 lengths. If you're just holding it as a standard leash, you have 3 length options. And then you also have, you know, you can use it as a tether of different sizes, either a tether using the handle or a tether using the sliding O-ring. You could walk 2 dogs. You could use like clip, dual control, like clipping to the harness and the front and back clip of the harness. Okay, so a couple questions. Somebody asked if this will be available for 15 feet. So right now we're going with just the 3 set lengths for this specific product. But like I mentioned, if you want to order a long line that's like 10 feet or longer, and you want it to have this detachable handle, there's going to be an option on our main long line product page to make your handle, like to basically like do a hands-free upgrade on your long line that you're ordering. So it'll be like an add-on, if that makes sense. This specific product with the extra D-rings along its length is just going to be in 7 foot, 8 foot, and 9 foot. And so to answer somebody else's question, when I say 7 foot, that's the length of the leash when it's being used in the standard way with the handle. If you're using it crossbody or around your waist, it's going to be a little bit shorter depending on your waist size. If you're using it crossbody, it's going to be, you're going to have either 3, 4, or 5 feet of slack from that point to where it clips to your dog. And this is based on like talking to people who use these and like how much slack are they comfortable managing in that position, the crossbody, you know, position. And, you know, we're open to maybe offering more options down the road, but also in trying these out, I feel like those are all good options for, you know, like most standard neighborhood walks, plenty of room for sniffing. So maybe I'll show, again, it's kind of hard to show like relative length, but I can kind of show the different length options. So this one, let me get one of the longer ones. This guy. Okay. So, yeah. This is the 9 foot one. So, this is black and teal. And so what that means is if I'm just, again, using it as a standard leash, it's a 9 foot leash. If I'm using it crossbody. So clipping to that middle D-ring. Then you will have, you'll have 5 feet of additional slack from that D-ring to your dog. So, which I think for like neighborhood walks, sniffy walks, like it's a good amount of slack if you're not like holding the leash in your hands. So that's kind of where we went with that one. So this is the 9 foot. You can kind of see how much slack there is and picture what that would feel like. If you're not sure, you could think, you might want to take some measurements, like how from your waist, like what would feel good depending on the size of your dog, the height of your dog, and that sort of thing. So let's see. I think these are, so this persimmon one is in the large. This one is the 7 foot. So you're gonna have like this, it's hard to show you, but you're gonna have about this much, slack. So I think the 7 foot is good if you're doing like walks in a neighborhood and you want to keep your dog a little bit closer for crossbody, and then the 8 or the 9 foot I think are good for most like sniffy walks where you want a little bit more slack. This one is, let's see. Okay. Yeah, so this is the 7 foot, and then this is the 8 foot. This is blueberry and granite. So you can see how much slack there is from that crossbody attachment point. So I hope this is helpful. I'm going to show you some up close. Oh, okay. So this one, this is the large. This is the 3/4 inch, and so we recommend that for dogs like 60 pounds and up. I think I forgot to mention too. Oh no, I think I did mention that we have the the standard one color, and then this is the 2-tone. So let me show you. I'm just going to start showing these samples so you can get a sense of the colors, and then I'll answer questions as I go. Long line. Okay, will it have the double carabiners? Okay, so someone's asking if we select the long line option and do the hands-free add-on like I mentioned earlier, will it have the double carabiners, 1 fixed D-ring for standard handle, and the floating O-ring? That's correct. That's exactly right. The parts that would not be included are the mid-length and the bottom fixed D-ring. That's correct. You just answered it very clearly, so thank you. Again, like, I'm always happy to work with you on custom stuff, so if you want those add-ons to your long line, I'm happy to do it. I just didn't want to throw too many new add-ons onto the site all at once. You can always email me and say like, hey, I want a 15-foot long line with the, fixed D-ring for crossbody, and I can do that. So this is, so now I'm just showing colors and answering questions. So feel free to throw questions in the box. If you joined after we started, these are going to launch tomorrow, and we're going to do a free shipping promo, free US shipping over the weekend. So tomorrow through Sunday, free shipping on all US orders. So this is the violet and flamingo. And I'm always happy to hear ideas and feedback on what you're seeing, or if you have other ideas. I write everything down, and then when we're designing these new products, I take that into account, or as we go along. This is teal and black. We can always add like new options. I also brought all of our color swatches. So if you want to see a particular color or a color combo, then I can show you. This is the teal single color. This is probably my favorite color combo, is the plum and poppy. And so I'll show you how that looks. And I realize I haven't showed you any of the brass stuff yet, but I'll show you those. Okay, so here's all of the brass. I personally really like the sport hardware with our brighter colors, and then the brass I really like with some of our kind of more like neutral and earth tone colors. Like if you're into the aesthetic side, I mean the hardware, you know, it depends on what kind of hardware you like too. But this is the brass two-tone. This is forest green and teal. So you see that the slider tab is a different color. Here's the midpoint D-ring. And then this is the dog end. And another thing that's cool about having the D-ring down here is that you can use this to attach a safety strap or a standalone traffic handle. So that's kind of cool. Is the sport hardware heavier than the brass hardware? No, the sport hardware is actually lighter. The sport hardware is made from like an aircraft grade aluminum, so it's really strong and really light. So it is a little bit like bulkier, just size wise. Then here's the large brass clip and then the large carabiner. So like it's a little bit bulkier, if that's a concern, but in terms of weight, it's actually lighter. Okay, here is brass. This is bluebird and green apple. So with the two tones, yeah, we do the two-tone accents, and then they do switch at the midpoint too. There's this, and then this is the dog end. So there's so many combos you can do, which is really fun. I think I showed this. This is the single color. This is forest green. Beautiful, like classic, you know, look. And then, okay, a couple more. This is the medium brass. I think I forgot to mention that we do, just like with our other products, we'll offer, you can choose scissor snap or bolt snap. Again, I have a blog post that goes over that, but this is green apple and plum, which is another really nice combo, I think. That's the midpoint. And then this is the dog end. So I did put a scissor snap on this one so you can see. So right now we just have it, so if you choose scissor snap, you'll get scissor snaps on both ends, but if you want to do like one bolt snap and one scissor snap, we can do that too. Just email me. Here's single color brass 1/2 inch in blueberry. If you asked me a question earlier and I missed it and you're still curious, you can put it in the box now that I'm seeing all the comments. Okay, I'll show a couple more. This is the small. This is a 3/8 inch brass two-tone, and this is goldenrod and granite, which is nice. So this is the handle, and here's that little O-ring, and then here's the crossbody. And here's the dog end, and then I'll show one more. And Carolyn's asking, how does the sport carabiner hold up to sand? Better than or worse than the scissor snap? So to sand with the scissor snap, I have to be honest, I haven't used both extensively in the sand to see how they hold up over time. They're both going to be rust proof. Yeah, the aluminum, I'm trying to think of anything that could get caught. I think they'll probably both hold up well. I would just make sure that you're, another good question, that you're rinsing off your hardware after being at the beach, because the sand can be abrasive. And if it does, it can, over time, like it can break, kind of wear down the hardware. I don't know if that answers your question. I'll have to start trying to test that out and see, with heavy use, how they hold up compared to each other. I will say the scissor snap is a better option than the bolt snap for sand, which some of you probably know. Somebody asked if we're going to have the built-in traffic handle option. We are. I didn't want to overwhelm people, but yeah, we are going to have the built-in traffic handle option on the site for these. So if you want to have a built-in traffic handle added to the dog end of your leash, you can do that, and you can choose where you want it placed. The one thing I will say is that if you're not sure if you want a built-in traffic handle, or if you're not sure what height, just email me, because I would hate to have you, it's hard, once we put it on, it's hard to move the placement or to take it off, because we have to punch through the biothane. So you want to make sure that you want it on there if you're going to get that put on. If you're using your leash as any kind of drag line, you want to keep in mind that if the traffic handle could potentially, your dog could step through the handle, and or it could get caught on something. So just something to keep in mind. Any chance you can do wider width, 1 inch, I work with 100-pound plus dogs. Send me an email. I have done 1 inch leashes for people. I do have the material, because we do collars in 1 inch. I would just need to special order the hardware. So you can just shoot me a message. I don't know if we'll put that on our site. We've only gotten a handful of requests, so I don't know if we'll actually add that, but I can probably do it. Kendall says, so far our sport carabiner holds up well in sand, just need to rinse after. Yeah, I love the scissor snap for the beach. Like San Francisco, a lot of people who live in San Francisco like it, because it doesn't have a spring. Maybe I can show you. So you can see on let's see. Okay, so let me show you the difference if people are curious. The bolt snap, there's a spring, right? So this opening where the snap opens and closes, there's a spring right there. So if sand and junk gets in there, over time, the spring is not solid brass, right? So over time, that spring could rust or get sticky, and stuff gets in there. And so if you're going to the beach a lot, the scissor snap is a much better option, because there's no exposed spring to get sticky. So yeah. Corey says, I work with dogs over 100 pounds, and the 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch have always been more than enough. Yeah, so I prefer using the thinnest, narrowest leash I can use. I use 3/8 inch on with almost all dogs that we work with. It's more like what you're comfortable with. You may not be comfortable using a 1/2 inch leash on a really heavy, large dog that's pulling really hard. It might not be comfortable for you. So, but in terms of strength, biothane is extremely strong and has a really high break strength. So that's not really a concern. It's more just what works for you and for the dog. When walking 2 dogs, is hands free still a safe option? Is it better to buy 2 leashes or add on to a connection point? I think you're asking, could you use one of these leashes and then clip another leash onto it to walk 2 dogs? I think it would depend on the dogs, the size, like if, you know, like your dogs have reactivity or, you know, like it could be hard to manage, I would imagine, hands-free. I think that, I mean, that's something I probably should mention, is that I think that anytime you're using a hands-free leash, like you really need to be conscious of your environment and what's around you, and like use it with discretion, because you don't have the ability to you know, actively manage the leash as much, I think, as if you're holding it. And then you also don't have the ability to drop the leash in case of an emergency. So I think that it's great. I think it's a great option for if you know the dog that you're walking well and you are really aware of what's around you and that sort of thing. But I think that, like any equipment, you know, you need to know your environment and that dog and decide if it's a safe setup. So I think that's just a word of, you know, to something to think about with the hands-free option. And I don't want to get into it too much, but like you know, if the dog is attached to you and you can't detach the dog, like there are scenarios where that could be potentially a safety or there could be like a safety issue with that. So something to think about. Okay, any other questions? So sizing, people were asking, like, is this gonna fit me? So like I said, the crossbody attachment point should fit, from what we've done, like the testing, it should fit most individuals, but if you're not sure, you can always send me a message and I can work with you. Somebody was asking if like colors are gonna run out. I think I'm gonna update our inventory on our website today. We should have most of our colors in stock right now. So unless there's like a crazy run on a certain color, I think you should be able to get the color that you order. Or worst case, we'll have to reorder and it takes like a week for more material to come. So yeah, I'm super excited to hear about if you decide to order, hear how you like it. I'm happy to hear feedback. If you have any other questions, you can just send me a message. Are any new colors coming that I should hold off for? Not right now. No, we're not ordering any new colors right now. Maybe in the spring, but yeah. Thanks so much for joining, and I'm really excited, and I'm glad that you all are excited, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye everybody, have a great day.